Good morning, good afternoon, and konbanwa wherever you are in the world. I'm the idol to give you the wings to fly, Cyber Angel Rita Kamishiro at your service. And welcome to the media that shapes us, my talk show where we get to talk to our guests and the wonderful games, anime, or music that shapes them. And today, woohoo, we have my second ever guest. Thank you so much for being here today. How are ya?
Thank you so much for having me. Also, hi, chat. I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much. And we'll yap for a few more seconds so we can get a quick little audio check. Don't want our guest's wonderful introduction to go to waste with bad audio quality. So we'll laugh, we'll giggle, we'll chat for a couple minutes. We'll see. Oh my gosh. I've been looking forward to this one. I feel like we share a lot in common. I guess in the now and today. So I'm excited to get to know who you were in the past.
Yeah, I think we do too. I mean, Rita and I have done a cover together actually before. I'm not sure if you guys have heard it, but
yeah,
I think we could remember from the Naruto series, right? It was so fun. And I'm sure we'll have many collaborations in the future. So, but I hope you guys are supporting Rita all the time because she's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Look at you doing a much better job at being a host than me already. Oh my goodness, so amazing. I forgot that. Not that it's not rememberable, huh? I can't even English. As you can see, my brain power is not at full computing. So thank you for picking up the slack for me. Oh my gosh. But for those who don't know who Leah is today, I'll go ahead and give a quick little introduction before we get things started for today. For those who don't know Leah is a lore streamer over on Twitch and is also a singer-songwriter over on YouTube, focusing mainly on Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. See, I mentioned that we have a lot in common there. But yeah, you might have heard some of their amazing covers as well as some of their most recent original song projects. A shout out to a few of those. Leah was a co-writer alongside Don Hung's VA for a Don Hung fan song. I believe it's pronounced Bumika, is that right? Do I have that right?
Yeah, Bumika. So we kind of wanted to play off the Samadartha theme because that's a Sanskrit word that is basically turning towards the sea, and Bhumika has to do with the earth and the soil.
Wow,
so...
and it's perfect for Don Hung's new era, if you will.
Yeah.
And I believe you're also a lyricist for... Actually, I say this as if I did this research. Leah was like, wait, I want to talk a little bit about this too. But you were also a lyricist for Rota Fortune, a Honkai Star Rail fan song as well. And lyricist for He Walks in Beauty, an Argenti fan song with Serafina. Do you want to talk a little bit about those as well?
Yeah, I am a lyricist for Hoyo Fair. I've done a couple of projects. Those are the two that are currently released. So, basically, it's really interesting because Hoyo will give me the scope of the project and some details about the animation things, and then it's up to me to write the lyrics. And it's just such a fun process. It's really different from what I'm used to because normally when I write a song, it's intended for either someone else to sing. I'll have more involvement in the actual music part of it. But yeah.
It's really interesting. I feel like they put a lot of faith and belief in their fans, that their fans love and understand their lore and their stories, and it's just a fun experience as a fan to be able to do. For sure.
Yeah, you've done some Hoyo Fair works as well, right?
Yeah, well, the first one, Liberame, that was a Hoyo Fair. Method, though, was for Multiverse Vistas, which you've also done some songs for Multiverse Vistas as well. Do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, I think actually the year that you won first was the year I won second.
Yes, I remember! Oh, I love that one. Go ahead and talk about it, yeah.
So I worked with Midnight City Music and a couple other collaborators on making kind of a musical theater-esque song for... it's kind of murder mystery as well. For the Astral Express family. It was pretty goofy and silly, and somehow we won second, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. And if you haven't listened to that one or any of the other ones that we mentioned today, definitely go check them out. You can check out Leah on YouTube at Cecilia Music or on Twitch at Windflower Leah. But Leah, if there's anything else you wanted to add on top of that introduction, by all means, take it away.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing I would mention is that I'm also a vocalist for TNV. If you've heard of him, he does covers of Star Rail and Genshin Impact like demo themes. And so if you've heard his cover of like Sparkle or Farina's demo themes, I was the one singing on them. I sing on all of the ones that have like feminine vocals. So
Nice. Well, again, please check out all of their amazing works. And hopefully, in the future, we'll get to work on something Honkai Star Rail related. Or Genshin, or whatever
that
works.
would be so cool.
Oh my gosh, fan song or cover, maybe both. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm down for anything, honestly.
Oh my gosh. I just love being able to work with other, not just fans, but also very talented musicians. It really is such an honor. Indeed.
It really is. Like, I know you and I were talking a bit about this before, that being in the space and being lucky enough to, you know, be invited to collaborate on these like insanely cool projects, you meet so many cool people, guys. Like, I cannot understate how talented and kind everyone is.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, talented, kind. Like, it's such a great vibe to be around. Also, huge fans of, like, the same thing as you are.
yeah, exactly. It's like people that are of the same brain as you. It's so rare.
Of course. Yeah, which is why, like, I was so excited for today's episode, which is also why I reached out to you. I was like, I'm so excited to pick your brain and get to know more about you as a musician, but also as a gamer, because we have some really cool games that we're going to be talking about today. I asked Leah sort of what games were very foundational to them as a person, as a musician, and I got 3 games back. So today, we'll be talking about RuneScape and how that fosters a sense of community and accomplishment for Leah. Then we'll do Super Mario Galaxy for its music and for romanticizing a sense of exploration for the world, or I guess in the game, for the universe. And then we'll wrap things up with Undertale to talk a little bit about its messaging and the characters. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into RuneScape for today. Now, this is the one Leah heard me behind the scenes, if you will, that I was most excited about, because I'm not super, like, I know a little bit about, you know, RuneScape through osmosis, being a gamer on the internet. But let's start things off for anyone like me who doesn't know too much about RuneScape. Tell us about it.
Well, you know, it's like any other MMO. If you've played like maybe Final Fantasy 14 or something like that, it's not one-to-one because the graphics are obviously very different, and like the system of like skills and combat and quests is very different, but it's an MMO. And so it's one of those games where you're logging in every day and you have like a community you go out and do things with, and like you're just doing whatever in the game that you really want to. It's kind of like a great sandbox game. There's not like a linear way you have to accomplish things in the game. You just kind of run around doing what you feel like, and some people will literally log in and just stand around talking with other people, especially back in the day. Lots of shenanigans. So it's it's one of those games where I feel like when you have a community that is very tied to the game, it encourages you to log in more. These days, I'm not sure if you guys have heard what happened to this game, if you know anything about it, but it started back in like 1999 or something like that, and it evolved over time, and the company in charge made some changes that the players were not fond of back in like 2010, 2012, something like that. Way back when I was still a kid and I was playing very, very actively, and it caused a lot of the player base to actually quit. And then they made like a remake a few years later, and it brought everyone back because it was a remake of the older version that everyone liked to play. And that is actually the most popular version of the game today. There are super popular YouTubers that make all kinds of like different video series for it, and I feel like the main player base these days, the people my age that played when they were kids, and everyone always talks about how nostalgic this game is to them and how it shaped their childhood, and I'm definitely one of those people.
Yeah, because you mentioned that RuneScape is really good at building a sense of community. So I want to learn more about how were you as a child, and when you were younger? How did that sense of community in RuneScape influence who you are?
Yeah, a bit of a sad backstory, I guess, but I really started playing the game after I experienced loss in my family. So, like, I was 10 years old, and unfortunately, my mom passed away. And I was very depressed, obviously, as one would be after something like that happens in your life. Right. And I spent so much time on this game. I made so many international friends on this game. And I just learned so much about myself in the process. I feel like games can be a form of escape, but they can also be a way to forge identities and discover how you identify with the world around you. And like, I am no exception to this. Like, the time I spent in like what was basically the second world helped me understand a lot of things about myself. But
for sure, I feel like video games in general is such a nice sort of like training ground. You know what I mean? Almost like training wheels, where you can sort of practice things, right? In a space that tends to be a little bit more. It's almost like a little cushion, right? You can try things out and test things out before you take them out into the real world. At least in my experience. Actually, when you had mentioned that RuneScape built a sense of community, I read a little bit about video games and building a sense of community, and I saw this study. It was published in Cyber Psychology. It's Behavior and Social Networking. I think it's a journal, I believe. And basically, it says that online games can be very powerful socially for people who are shy or emotionally sensitive. Like you had mentioned, it was a particularly difficult time in your life. Because the game, it provides an environment that is sort of reduced in social pressure. You know, you have anonymity, you have a shared goal, things like that, things that you do together, like tasks and things like that. Whereas in the real world, it's almost like you have a little bit of a struggle doing those things with face-to-face interactions. But because you have that environment with sort of reduced stakes, if that makes sense, you can still have those social experiences and forge new friendships. But yeah, you talked a little bit about that. For yourself, how was RuneScape like a training ground for you then, I guess?
I feel like RuneScape is one of those games where you could just log in and go do like whatever. Like, there's not a lot of barriers to training skills, and in the real world, there's all sorts of barriers to accomplishing anything you want to do. So it's refreshing to log into an MMO that's kind of like a sandbox and like kind of live that quote-unquote second life away from your real life. Without those restrictions, especially when, you know, there's other like-minded people in like, you know, they form clans and, you know, you're accomplishing something for your clan. It's like community effort. I don't know. Just things like that. There was a Soul Wars clan I joined. And Soul Wars is like a mini game inside of RuneScape where basically it's kind of like capture the flag, except you're trying to defeat the boss on the other side of the map. It's pretty much like capture the flag.
For sure, yeah.
And there was like major clans with like hundreds of people just playing this mini game and also like hosting, because like basically they would gather in certain worlds and then they would determine what color, like what side was gonna win that game.
Oh, fun!
Every single new game. And so like it was actually crazy, like all the politics that went on in that day too.
Right. Oh my goodness! Wow.
There's actually some context here. So, because they had a combat level requirement, and so then there were like clans that were like open to everyone, but they would like infiltrate the clan I was in that had the combat level requirement and get like the call so that they could tell the call to their other clans that were not that level. But then that would mean that a lot of like lower level players were entering that side, and that threw off the balance, because the higher the combat level you have, the better it is. Like, that means you're probably going to win. And then there were also like rival clans that would try to get the call and then try to like go to the opposite side. And like this was all happening in like the span of like 5 minutes, and I was like a ranked officer of one of these clans.
Oh my god!
And they had like a whole like alliance on like SwiftKit, like like basically like the Discord back then, like text version. Like if you know what Slack is, it's kind of like that, like IRC channels.
Yeah.
It was actually so involved. There's so much history there. And, yeah, that was just like one example of like the shenanigans I got up to. Because like as a kid, I was so involved in this.
Right.
And I ended up befriending people from like all sorts of like I befriended people from the Leaker clans. I befriended people from the rival clans.
And that's so cool that like games can create almost like their own culture and their own history and, you know, their own shared goals and things like that, so that you do end up like in communities with people that you never would have in the first place. That's so cool.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. And it's crazy because I still keep in contact with like friends that I made all the way back then. Like I really made some strong friends in life from that game that, you know, like it's been over a decade. So
Right. I feel like that's such a nice, like I feel like especially during like quarantine times, it's like what do we do when we can't go to any of our third spaces to like hang out and meet people, right? It's like we almost created our own third spaces. I mean, they've already been there, right? But that was sort of like, oh, we can't go to these physical ones anymore. Let's just go back to, you know, something that's already been there. I don't know. It's been nice. For sure. But you mentioned that in, you know, and I guess in any MMO really, but in RuneScape specifically, you don't have like the one thing you have to do. There's not like a defeat Ganon and the game is done, more or less, right? You have all these sorts of different like what you can kind of choose what you want to do, right? Pick your own adventure. If you want to be like a farmer, then be a farmer. If you want to be like an alchemist, then be an alchemist. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about how RuneScape fostered that sense of accomplishment for you. What do you have to say about that?
I remember. So, okay. If you've played RuneScape, you would probably understand this meme. 92 is half of 99. And that's because you have 99 levels to max out some skill in RuneScape, right? But the XP point where you're exactly halfway to 99 is at 92.
Oh, wow.
So it takes forever just to get to 92, and then it takes forever and a half to get to 99 after that. So
I've never heard that. That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
It's so much grinding because the devs did not originally intend for people to actually get 99. And if you get 99, you get this thing called a skill cape. And like basically it has like the icon of like whatever skill it is on the cape, and it's like its own unique color. And if you have multiple 99s, it becomes trimmed, so the sides of it have like this, you know, this strand of like an accent color, and it's so cool. And it's like the ultimate cosmetic showing your investment in the game.
Right.
So my first 99 was attack. Okay. I played a lot of Soul Wars, and you can exchange the Soul Wars points for combat XP, and so that's how I trained attack. I didn't do anything you're normally supposed to. Normally people go and train like Slayer or something alongside their combat skills, but I'm just like, let's spam Soul Wars and put all points into attack, and so that's what I did.
So you said that was your Your second one was what?
Fishing.
Oh, fishing! Two very different things. The sword and the fishing rod.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Tell me about fishing.
It had a really pretty cape. And I wanted
you're
it. And
so
also,
real for that.
I could like, RuneScape is a game where you don't have to pay a lot of attention when you're training certain skills. And I appreciated that because, you know, in school, like you're obviously trying to study, and it's like, I don't have the brain to just sit there and focus on my homework. Like I always have to kind of do something on the side. And
for sure.
me, for a long time, that was RuneScape. And honestly, sometimes I play even these days on my account for like the remake version of RuneScape. It's called Old School RuneScape, by the way, if you're interested.
Oh, okay. Old School RuneScape as opposed to...
Yeah, so the main game still exists.
Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but it's called RuneScape 3, and it's completely transformed. They went on a completely different path for that game, and there are wars in the community, like which one's better, because some people like RuneScape 3 and the direction it went, and some people are like, get that away from me.
For sure. Oh my gosh. Did you get any other capes?
No. I came close, I think. I'm trying to remember. Actually, maybe no, Dungeoneering. Yeah, I almost had 99 Dungeoneering. Dungeoneering was one of those skills added like later on, like right before they changed the game in like a really bad way. This was one of the first changes that came that people started not liking because they also raised the level cap from 99 to 120 and added like a new series of caves, like really extreme changes that people were not vibing with.
Oh gosh.
So I liked engineering. I did.
Nice,
You just kind of form a party and go into dungeons. It's like raids, and it like makes a new seed every time.
Oh, okay. It's almost like Stardew Valley, like when you're mining. It's kind of mindless almost, as long as you like don't die. Gosh, what was your like main motivation for, you know, getting the caves or just like getting things done? Because you mentioned you kind of put it on in the background while you like studied or things like that. Do you feel like it was like you wanted to get the cape or that sense of like, you know, I did this? Or was it sort of like, do you feel like, I don't know, the journey made you any different? Or was it more of like, I need that cape?
So back in the day, there are these things called 99 parties.
Oh, you wanted to get in. You're so real.
Well, it's just like, it's this like really cute like celebration of your
Of
achievement,
course.
right? Like
No, I
you
love
invite
that.
all of your friends there, and there's like fireworks that go off when you get the level,
Oh!
and like people do all sorts of things for their 99 parties.
Wait, that's
and,
so
like,
cute.
As a kid, it's like, oh, that's such a good sense of accomplishment. You're there with your friends and celebrating something good that you did. It's like, and it takes so much time to get to there because 99, it's literally like months of grinding for certain skills. So I think I went through with attack and fishing because I naturally train those skills for various reasons.
Wow.
In the way I played the game, and then I just wanted to like make sure I made the push to actually get those 99s before I put the game down. And you know, I got them both under different circumstances because like the 99 attack was with Soul Wars where I was like doing really heavily community involved things, and then fishing was just kind of like, oh, I can click on this square and then do something else for like 30 seconds. Naturally got a high level there. So
I love that they have little parties though. It's like as a kid, it's like, oh my gosh, I get a second birthday. I get like a reason to like celebrate with my friends. I love that though. I love how they like sort of celebrate your accomplishments. When I was actually looking into this topic ahead of this episode, I found an article about how video games can train your brain. I thought it was really cool. It was an article published in American Psychologist. It's called The Benefits of Video Games. And it talks about how there's two ways that people can develop an understanding of their abilities and their efforts, I guess. And it talks about how some people develop what's called an entity theory of intelligence. And basically you believe that your talent and your abilities are fixed, that you're either good at something or you're not. And these are often the kids who are usually praised for being such a smart kid. You're so smart, you know what I mean? Like there's a specific trait that you are, and that's fixed. And other people develop what's called an incremental theory of intelligence. And they believe that ability grows through effort, right? And these are the folks who are usually praised for, you're such a hardworking kid, right? You are such a hardworking kid as opposed to you are a smart kid. And the article was essentially saying that video games teach this growth mindset really well because like every quest, skill, or boss fight gives you, or 99 party, right? It gives you feedback. Like you did it, you finally made it. Or for example, like maybe if you die and on the screen it says, hey, better luck next time, you failed, but hey, you can do it again, right? So like the more you practice, the more you do something, you get EXP or you level up. So I don't know, like other than the 99 party, are there ways that you feel like RuneScape sort of trained your brain in that way?
Well, okay. I'm gonna dip into my anthropology degree a little bit.
Oh, wow. Let's hear about it for sure.
So, what you were talking about just now reminded me of this concept that we talk about in anthropology called the habitus. And so, basically, you go out into the world and you practice this identity. And what you learn from practicing that identity, you can transfer it to wherever new you move on to. it is inflexible. Like it can't just be like erased. But at the same time, when you practice a new identity, it kind of like merges together. It's like a very interesting concept and a little bit technical. It's kind of hard to explain in like layman's terms. But like I think the concept of habitus applies to video games as well. Because like even if you're in like a virtual world, like practicing some new identity, you choose an avatar, you choose a name, and suddenly you're like a new person in a different space. And you still have elements of who you are outside of that space, and they affect how you interact in that space. But at the same time, you're doing something completely new that is removed from who you are in real life. And you make new connections and you learn new things. And like, I think this is just applicable in general.
Wow.
So I don't know, like if you make like a really strong community in a game like RuneScape, maybe you feel better about yourself if you don't have that in real life. And so maybe you'll take that strength that you have from your friends and go out into the real world, and maybe things won't bother you as much because it's like, I don't hold as much weight for what is happening here because I have something else to return to that gives me fulfillment.
I feel that because you had mentioned earlier about like that's still you, right? Like that's still you playing it. There's behaviors that are what you sort of bring from your IRL self into the game, and it's almost like I mentioned as well about how it's kind of like a softened blow, how you can kind of practice social interactions. So if maybe something doesn't go super well, like in the game, you can kind of just be like, okay, well, it's fine. I can like, I still have, that's not really me, right? That's just like the me in the game. But as you mentioned, it's like you can build these skills and you can build these communities in the game, and you can bring that sense of confidence, right? That I am a social person, or I can do social things, I can accomplish things, and you can bring that into the real world as well. So I think it's a really cool sort of like back and forth, I guess.
Yeah, actually, so in retrospect, I think it makes sense that I ended up becoming kind of like a community leader and content creator for the Hoyoverse community, looking back on how, like what kind of player I was in RuneScape, because another thing I did, other than being like a LAN leader, I actually ended up hanging out in like the clan channels. It wasn't really like a clan, it was just like a channel you could join that was owned by a person, and then there would be up to like 200 people in there or something like that. And so I always joined the ones for like the top like 3 players on the leaderboard.
Wow.
And I actually ended up befriending some of these people and like moderating for them. I don't know how that happens. Maybe it's because I don't know, the gaming space in RuneScape is very male dominated, and I was one of the only girls. So maybe I got special attention for those reasons. I'm not gonna read into it too much, but yeah, I actually ended up befriending like some of the players that were literally number 1 for quite a while, and it was really interesting because people in the community talk about those players as if they were like the most legendary ever. Did you know Zezima? Okay.
What? First of all, who is Zezima? I'm a noob.
The myth and legend. Zezima. Okay.
This is cool.
That's someone I knew directly. He was like ranked 1 on the leaderboards for a long time, and he was like what everyone thought of as like the coolest player ever. And now, yeah, he's off doing like real life things, but I played against him in the Fun Orb Arcanist games a couple times.
Whoa, wait,
if you're familiar with that, yeah.
Wow, no, I'm not. It sounds cool though.
I'll type some names in chat of
oh yeah, please do. And speaking of chat, I also want to know, as we sort of wrap up this RuneScape, and I hesitate to say that because this is already so fun. I want to know from our Archangels, maybe if you're a RuneScape fan, what sort of things did RuneScape train for you? How was it a training ground for you? Not just for your skills, right? Not just to get your, maybe you can let us know too. What capes did you get? What 99 party did you have? But also at the same time, like how did RuneScape affect you? Or what other games were your training grounds, whether it's building a sense of community or a sense of social skills or accomplishment? or something else? Let me know. I'm really intrigued to see what that may be for you. Maybe we'll come back to that at the end. But I don't want to, miss out on some of the other games that you talked about here today. The next one, I'm actually also really excited too, because you, as a musician, obviously, I want to hear some about some of your musical inspirations. But you mentioned that Super Mario Galaxy influenced you by its music, but also how it romanticized exploring the world or the universe. So let's start things off with an explanation about Super Mario Galaxy for anyone who might not be familiar.
So, Super Mario Galaxy was a game for the Wii quite a while ago. If you've ever played like the Super Mario series, you get to play as Mario and go rescue Princess Peach. But Super Mario Galaxy was a little different because you were going out into the galaxy and like exploring like different worlds. I don't know, it just had this really amazing feel because it was another kind of like sandbox game. You didn't have to go through it in a very linear fashion similar to RuneScape. You could kind of pick what worlds you want to explore. Of course, you unlocked higher difficulties like along the way.
Right.
And you didn't get everything at once, but it was really interesting. You'd like go grab a star from the world, bring it back, and then you would power your spaceship because the whole goal was to give the spaceship that you were on, which was like this beautiful observatory, enough power to go travel to where Bowser was.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I can already kind of see where this is going in terms of how it's sort of how it gives you the sense of whimsy and wonder. But I want to hear about that from you. How did that really foster a sense of like exploration?
Well, I have always been interested in space and like learning about
the Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah, and learning about what we don't know, right? About the universe. Like, I love asking questions that are bigger than us, bigger than life, which is why when I was in undergrad, I double majored in anthropology and chemistry, which are two very different fields.
That is so super cool.
I definitely feel like I owe some of that to games like Super Mario Galaxy, where you're just exploring the greater universe. I think the devs did such a really good job at setting the like atmosphere of the game with the music and sound choices they used. Like you just sit in like the menu screen and you're like looking at like the the galaxies behind. It's like a deep blue color, and you hear like this like most wonderful like awe-inspiring theme ever. It's just it's so gorgeous. I cannot understate or overstate how good the soundtrack is and how much it feeds. Yeah.
So talk about the OST with us for a little bit. How would you describe the OST? Do you know off the top of the head who the composer is for Super Mario Galaxy?
I used to. Oh my gosh, who is the composer? I used to. Mahito Yokota.
Oh.
And Koji Kondo. Yeah.
Oh, Koji Kondo, like Legend of Zelda, for sure. Yeah.
So both of them were spearheading Super Mario Galaxy OST, and I feel like the one that comes up in everyone's mind when they talk about the OST is I think Gusty Garden? Garden Galaxy, yeah. For some reason, that is like the one everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Really? So tell me about it. Yeah.
Revisit. It has this like sense of like epic adventure.
Wow.
I don't know how to describe like works of music that are like performed by like a symphony or an orchestra other than like a giant sound that feels bigger than
grand.
I don't know how to describe it. It's so amazing.
Absolutely. It's almost like it's very grand. Like
yes,
you know
grand.
What I mean?
Yeah. And I think they do a great job of like leaving that grand feeling, because when you explore space, you're discovering
for sure
what it is out there that you don't know about, and it's like more than you could ever imagine you would find on Earth. And I feel like having that sense of grandeur is so good.
I feel like I love that you brought that up, that feeling, because I also feel the same way as well when I listen to orchestra, and I feel like part of what makes it feel so grand is that there's so many moving parts. right? The guy on the violin is really going at it over on this side, and the cellist over there on this side is kind of like boom, boom. And it's like there's so many moving parts, and you can never focus on one thing at any single time. You know what I mean? But you get to focus on the whole grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's almost kind of like how exploring the world feels like, right? There's so many things that you could never, you know, there's so many parts of this world and so many people that you like don't even know, or like they live totally different lives, but it's like we get the chance to explore them and experience even a tiny fraction of it in our lives, right? And I feel like that's what it almost like mimics that, an orchestra, right? You get to
sorry,
go ahead. No, go right ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like that's a really good comparison because I have traveled. I traveled a lot as a young adult for various reasons, and I actually can compare it to going out when I was a kid playing Super Mario Galaxy. Like, it's kind of a similar feeling. It gives you a similar perspective where you look back on Earth and it's like, well, that's different.
Right? Yeah. And I don't know if you have any experience in an orchestra. Do you play?
So I don't play instruments. I grew up in choir, and I was an a cappella choir in university. So yeah, my experience is more in like the vocal side of things.
Well, that's still symphonic orchestras, right? Yeah, we have a choir section.
I did sing with a symphony at one point.
That is so
we
fun.
we did Beethoven's Ninth. So
fun! That's a good one. And I feel like that's also such a fun little thing too, because it's like you are in the choir world, right? That's sort of what you know. But then like you get to step out into, you get to see the bigger orchestra at large, and it's like, wow, there's so many other parts of the music world that I don't know that I get to learn about. I actually recently just started doing choir as part of my music studies, and it's like, wow, this is a world that I've always been tangential to, right? Being in, you know, symphonic orchestra experiences, they're always sort of there. They provide the vocals and such for whatever piece it is, but actually being in that sphere and like being a part of it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's a totally different lens in this world that I've always been in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Wow.
There's something about being like one voice in like a giant choir, and
or like one instrument,
like one instrument. Just, and you know, putting your self-expression into your art, and then also being there amongst other people doing the same thing, and just the sound is beautiful, and people appreciate it so much, and you appreciate it in the moment. Like you're really feeling the music because you have to perform it well.
For sure,
you have to get into that mental space. So.
I love being a musician. I love making music with people because you get it. It's like one of the biggest honors in this world. I really wish it upon other people, the experience to make music with other people. Whether it's like online, like we record things and we share it and we send it and we mix it all together. But also like live music as well. It's just a totally different experience making the music as opposed to listening to it. And it's such a huge honor, really.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for Super Mario Galaxy, I really like the whole plot and idea of like there was this elegance to the observatory that you stayed on. Princess Rosalina was there taking care of you. You had these like little like star characters, like literally little baby stars called Lumas, and they would like help you in various ways. Kind of like Seelies in Genshin.
Oh, cute!
And they gave you like special powers and things like that. And I love this concept of like you're here on an observatory that can't move on its own. You have to collect power for it, and then travel into the greater universe. And I don't know. I ended up writing like this OC world kind of based on a similar concept, like a cast of characters and very magical and stuff. I wish I did something with it, but
it's never too late. It's never too. Oh my gosh! So you talked a little bit how the music inspired you as a person. Did it inspire your music? And if so, I want to learn about how that shows up in your music and your writing.
I feel like it's really hard. Because my role is normally
lyrics.
I normally write lyrics, or I do things with vocals. Like I can vocal edit, I can mix, I can write melodies and things like that. But normally I'm collaborating with other musicians, and I would love to work on something like Super Mario Galaxy, but it's very. I don't know. Maybe the kinds of feelings that the soundtrack
exactly. Yeah,
delivers.
I'd love to hear about how, you know, you put those feelings into your works. Because for me specifically, I when it comes to being a lyricist, I like, putting my emotional experiences into my lyrics, or channeling a character's, emotional journey and putting it into a lyric so that other people might be able to reflect, like, oh, I understand that feeling of confusion, or I understand that feeling of loss through another character's experience. But I want to know about how, I wonder if, that sense of wonder and exploration found its way into how you write your lyrics at all.
I feel like, because I'm a writer outside of music, I feel like it mostly made its way into like those kinds of writings. I definitely took inspiration from it. Because that sense of wonder is so hard to capture, and I really want to convey that to other people because I feel like it's such a beautiful sensation that I wish other people could also understand.
Oh, absolutely.
So
go play Super Mario Galaxy, guys.
go play the game. Or honestly, go play Genshin.
that too. And like literally, it's that sense of exploration. And I think it kind of goes along with what you said about like RuneScape, what you liked about RuneScape, how there's not like one thing you have to do in whatever order. You can kind of pick and choose the adventure yourself. There's no right or wrong way to do things, right?
Open world exploration games are so cool. Like, it doesn't matter if it's an MMO or if it's like single player, like Breath of the Wild or Genshin Impact or Super Mario Galaxy. They're just so cool. I really like just being able to like run around and do what I want to and not be told to like go here, go there.
Exactly. This is a bit of an aside before we, go on to our next section, which is, I hate to say that already because each section I'm like, I want to talk more. But again, if you want to get to know Leah more, you can follow them on Twitch, YouTube. But a quick aside, if you love like Zelda, there's a great book that I've sort of been making my way through bit by bit. I think it's called The Psychology of Legend of Zelda, and it talks a lot about how playing the games foster a sense of like identity, or kind of inform how you perceive the world or perceive your sense of self. It's really cool, and they have different like sections about playing as Link or being in an open world and how that affects you and your social emotional growth, or how the music even affects you. It's really cool. It's been a really cool experience reading that. Just as a random tangent, we're talking about Breath of the Wild. But yeah, I'm sorry that we don't have too much time to talk about this last one. I think we got a little too excited talking about these first two games. But I'd love to pick your brain more, off the air as things come up for sure. But you talked about Undertale and its messaging and its characters and how that influenced you. This one was, I think I left a little intentionally vague. I didn't ask too many questions about that beforehand. But if you want to go ahead and, for me, I am a huge fan of Undertale as well. But for anyone who's not familiar with Undertale, if you want to give us a quick little brief, spoiler-free explanation of Undertale before we jump into a quick conversation about it, we'd appreciate that.
Well, Undertale is a game. I don't even know how to explain the parts of it that are relevant without spoiling things. But your choices matter. I'll leave it at that. Your choices in the game really, truly matter. And the world is very interesting. You are playing as this child that has fallen down into the monster realm, and you're trying to get your way back. But you have to navigate all the trials and tribulations of being in the monster realm around, monsters that you don't understand, and you can fight them. And so what are you going to do? And they interact with you in various ways. Are you going to trust them, or are you going to fight them? It's really up to you. And the game doesn't hold your hand very much. So it's interesting because it really forces you to make your own decisions. And again, those decisions matter. So
they absolutely do, for sure. And as with any game, there's multiple messages and themes to walk away with. But for you, what were sort of the bigger messages and themes that you walked away with that you found the most impactful for you?
I just really liked the idea of a game that rewards you for being kind.
Real!
No matter how much tension or grief or scary things you face, like, you choose kindness and you're rewarded for it and not taken advantage of, for being kind. And I feel like the whole thing around, it fills you with determination. Like, you're determined to keep going on, even though it's scary, even though you might die, you're just some kid.
Yeah,
You
for
keep
real.
going on. It doesn't matter. You're just like this little small presence in this world, but you can make a big difference.
It's still you,
especially
yeah.
as you go out and make allies, you know.
For sure. I think, along the lines of there's strength in kindness, there's strength in vulnerability. There's also strength in, community. There's strength in friendship as well, and relying on other people. I think that was also a really impactful message for me as well.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned characters. Is there a specific character or characters that were impactful for you?
Oh, you want to guess my favorite? I'm curious.
Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this because I will, because I'm a huge fangirl for my favorite characters. So what will happen is I accidentally project my love for my favorite characters onto somebody else. So I'm not gonna let that taint your favorite character. So I'll let you go ahead and let us know.
Definitely Sans. Sans is the
For
coolest
sure.
ever. I love him. I love him so much. I think he is like one of the best characters in any video game to this day. I think it's interesting that he could break the fourth wall. He's very,
okay.
like in his secret life, it seems like he's very scientific and he's been tracking all sorts of things, but he doesn't tell you. He guides you gently. Because he wants you to make the good decisions, right?
He's just a guy.
And,
he's just a dude.
Yeah, he's just a guy. And I really have a weakness for characters that pretend to be less than what they really are. They don't have like this ego. They're just kind of like they're like casually, and like Sans is like the biggest jokester ever. No one takes him seriously. But you probably should.
Yeah.
But you'll learn that lesson yourself, right?
For sure.
It's not something he's gonna like lord over you.
Yeah,
So-
silly mentor figure.
Yeah.
My favorite character is Toriel. Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's mom. You know,
Yeah,
it's
exactly. Just like,
Mom.
I think the reason why Toriel was such an important character for me is that like she's just a very comforting character that you can always you can go back to, or if you make a mistake, she's not gonna hold that over your head or anything like that. But she's also not she's also silly in that she'll step out of that sort of quote unquote comforting, soft mother, you know, and she'll make
be
you giggle
firm.
in that way. Yeah, she'll be firm if she needs to. She'll fight you. But at the end of the day, you know, she wants the best for you and cares for you. So I really like Toriel for sure.
And you know, her part of the story is one of the most important things because it's the first real decision you make in the story, right?
Oh yeah,
and it affects everything. So
really does.
I really appreciated Toriel's moment, and I don't want to spoil it because I'm not sure who in chat has played the game, but yeah.
Are you a Deltarune fan as well?
I haven't had the chance to play it, guys. I'm in grad school.
For sure. Your time will come.
I played chapter 1 way back when, and I haven't done anything since.
You gotta treat yourself like your like grad school graduation thing is like, I'm gonna play the rest of Deltarune. It's like your 99 party, except for it. You invite your friends, you play Deltarune. Oh my god, you should throw a 99 party for your grad school, like graduation. I don't know how that would work. You make your you make a cape. I don't know what the cape looks like. What if you made your you know how you have the cap, right, for graduation?
Cape, yeah.
You should make chemistry 99 cape. You're welcome for the idea.
That's actually really cute.
Oh my gosh. As you can tell, we've kind of reached this point where we're sort of, wrapping up a bit. We're getting our giggles back in again. So as we sort of hit the end of our talk show here today, if anyone has any questions for Leah here, ask away. We'll go ahead and pick some up as we start to wrap up. But I want to know sort of, Leah, what do you feel like your biggest takeaways were from today? What is sort of your key moments, if you will? What did you enjoy?
Your games are awesome. I enjoyed talking with you, first and foremost. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I love hearing you talk about, philosophy in video games. I think you would be really interested in cyber ethnography, which is like the ethnographical studies of video games and
yes, and their communities and the cultures that they build up. Of course, yeah. How do you know I watch a lot of video essays in my free time? Oh my gosh. I think for me, it's just being able to talk with another musician about how, I don't know, how music influences us and how it makes us feel. And same thing with video games as well. I think that combination is just, it's great. Goodness.
It is very great.
Sure.
And I feel like we have so much in common there.
For sure, I know! I loved especially though learning about for you, and again I think you can kind of guess where I'm going. The RuneScape part of this, I just loved. I don't know. It's like I love that video games can be a training ground for so many things, whether it's like your social confidence or your confidence in your abilities or anything really. Like video games really are such like an open world, even if it's not, you know, even if it's not an open world.
It's really interesting how like these experiences you have as a child become so nostalgic when you're an adult, because everyone rants and raves about, you know, RuneScape and how nostalgic it is. And one thing they always go back to is the music, and that's why like you get the Sea Shanty 2 memes all over the internet.
Oh my gosh. Really though, and I feel like it really comes across in every person how like their favorite games or how their favorite music, you know, informs who they are and how they see the world. Because I see that sense of like, you know, wonder, I guess, and whimsy. Oh my gosh. We have a question here, by the way, from Panama. What is your favorite Undertale boss / song?
Well, I never fought my favorite boss in the game.
Really? Oh, you're so real for that, though. I get that. I understand.
Okay, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I never did that. So, I would say my other favorite though is actually Asgore.
Oh,
because the
okay,
music
okay.
is just so good. Like I actually would play like Asgore's theme on loop when I was in college writing my essay. I don't know.
Wow.
It's so epic. I can't explain like why I like it so much, but I really like it. And then also, what's the name of that OST? It plays in like Sans Lab.
In the lab? Oh, I'm terrible with OST names.
Somewhere else, I think.
Oh, okay, okay.
I really like that one as well.
Oh my gosh, do you want to know a fun fact? That I got the opportunity to go backstage, thank you to AWR Music, for the Genshin Impact concert. I got to go backstage and talk to Eric Roth and a bunch of other amazing folks on the staff. But I got to chat with Chris Opperman, who collaborated on Undertale Live. And he told me that for Undertale Live, I believe it's Undertale Live, the audience gets to choose Mercy or Kill for every song, right? For every boss. But the kicker is that they prepared music for every instance. What you choose, Mercy or Kill, will influence the music and the repertoire that is played during the program. And you know what he told me? He said there's an entire half of the program that never got performed live because everyone would always choose Mercy.
I love that, but also okay, I can't imagine hearing Snowy like slowed down.
Oh my
like, orchestral theme. I love Snowy as well. Also a really good theme.
Goodness. But yeah, thank you, Shadi, for the link. I did get the opportunity to interview Eric as well, and I also have done a story time of the Genshin concert. So cool. Gosh.
That's amazing.
But yeah, fun fact about Undertale Live.
I recently went to Stardew's live concert.
How was that? I've heard about that. Tell me about it.
It was so good. I thought something would happen when we all voted our favorite character, but it turns out we don't get like any special song played with it.
Who's your favorite character?
Krobus. And everyone voted Krobus. I think only 2 concerts in all of the US concerts so far did not vote Krobus. So,
wow.
I didn't
my
know
favorite.
he was that popular.
I can believe that. I feel like I have a couple of friends whose favorite character is Krobus. My favorite character is Harvey.
Ooh,
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I just like it was just very like friendly, and whenever I died, he was always there to help me out.
Oh my god.
I was like, wow, thank you. Oh my goodness. I feel like it also tracks, given my other like favorite characters in video games. Have you played Tears of Themis?
I started playing it and I haven't continued yet.
Artem Wing is my favorite character, and that should tell you enough about.
Oh, have you played Mystic Messenger?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't feel like I wanted to wake up at like 2 a.m. to like answer a call, or else my apartment would blow up. You know what I mean? Oh gosh, we have another question here from Demon Warrior. What's been your most memorable RuneScape experience?
Honestly, there's a couple. it's really fun interacting with like the big personalities in whatever community you're in.
Ooh.
Because that's, you know, a massive number of people will show up just if they're there and like go follow them around. It's very entertaining. There was once this party that was hosted by like a couple, I can't even say content creators because content creation didn't exist back then.
Oh.
But like they were essentially like what you would consider content creators today. They were like the influencers of that era.
Wow. You're brushing shoulders with giants over there.
No, actually, it was kind of crazy the things I got up to as a child.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was really fun, like working with all of these different people. I also worked on a project directly led by Jagex at one point, like the company that runs the game.
Yeah, for
cool
sure.
too.
That's crazy. See, video games get you somewhere. See, Mom, I told you. That's crazy.
Speaking of the Stardew concert, like our director was like addressing us during that concert, right? And he played, like he put so many hours into Stardew Valley, and he kept reminding us all the time about it. And it's just really cool, like going to like an in-person concert and like seeing like the person directing everything for the evening so professionally talk about the game that, you know, soundtrack that their symphony's playing, right? Like and how it's impacted their life. It's like, wow.
Absolutely. I don't know why I thought about this just now, but I don't know if I've talked about this. It was like a little joke, a little bit that when we were backstage, and I think somebody was like sick for the day or whatever, and so they were down one violist, and I was like, oh my gosh, I play viola, and they were like, yeah, you want to grab a viola and sit down? And I was like, in my head, I was like, this is a bit, right? This is a joke. And they kept like saying it. I was like, this is a joke, right? Like, this is a bit. Like, you gotta say it or else I will pick up a viola and siren. No, but it was so funny. I was like, don't joke with me because I will. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's been such a pleasure today, really. I wish this could go on for a million years, but I don't want to keep you on for much longer, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunities to talk and collaborate and all that jazz. So as we sort of, you know, wrap up here today, let us know, is there any like exciting projects we should keep our eye out for? Maybe it's a secret project, maybe it's not a so secret project. You can tell us about it. What do you think? What do you want to let us know?
If you guys are playing Honkai Star Rail, I am excited to see your thoughts on 3.7.
Yes! Oh, me too! I have a couple of friends who play Honkai Star Rail, and I've been telling them, like, you guys need to get caught up now. Please!
That's what I'm saying. It's so unfortunate because there's so much to catch up on if you haven't started the story, but it's worth it.
Do you follow Glitter?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my gosh, she's been powering through the story.
She has, actually.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how you could do it. Like I play patch by patch, and I'm already like emotionally compromised. I don't know how anyone can do it all and like marathon it, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, during the Fine patch, I sobbed the entire stream because I also stream like everything. I have like lore discussions basically as I'm playing through, and then also with some mutuals like after the fact, like lore keepers discussions for Genshin Star Rail.
Oh, Leah, I'm so glad you're here. Cause, like the whole thing with Cyrene and how we got to see her sort of progress through like her constant sacrifice, and seeing her like have such a positive attitude, but also have moments where she's like, can I do this? Is this gonna work out? And it was so like empowering, but it was also very like cathartic almost, because I feel like I would like to think that I share some of that like positive energy. Like I would like to think I'm a very positive person, and I push through a lot of hardship. Right? Stop, thank you. But I think it was so cathartic to see Cyrene also have moments of like, I don't know if I can do this. Like it feels like, you know, impossible almost, but be able to pick herself up despite those feelings. Because it's like, when I have those moments of hardship, I feel like, oh, why can't I have the same strength that I usually do? Like, am I not as strong as I thought I was? But really what that showed me is that anyone can have moments like that, and they're still strong. They, even in the face of fear or you know, doubt, you can still be strong, and you can still be, you know, a force of positivity. That's just part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I absolutely know what you mean. And like, I think we shouldn't understate the experiences of Cyrene because
Absolutely.
like she also went through all those cycles just like Finan did, but she had a
Right.
different circumstances, different reactions.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I'm very excited to see how that will all
Oh!
affect the next patch. I'm very excited.
I just want to see Cyrene and Finan happy again. That's all I'm asking. I want a
Same.
happy ending.
I do too.
Ah,
A
goodness.
romantic story like none that has come before.
You know, crying, screaming, throwing up. Gosh. So, if there's any Honkai Star Rail fans, I'm sure there are out in the audience here today. Be sure to keep an eye out for our reactions to the upcoming patch. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's so soon. That's so crazy. But yeah, any other things you want to say before we wrap up for the day?
The only thing I really have to say is thank you guys so much for, listening to little parts of my life. I don't normally share these things or get asked about these things by people, so very happy to discuss, the impact of video games on my life and everyone else's lives. And thank you so much to Rita for having me.
Thank you for being
again,
here.
I'm like, you can't see that now, but I keep cupping my cheek. I'm just like, so happy.
I'm doing it too now. Oh my gosh. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing all of these awesome tidbits of your life. Thank you for playing Honkai Star Rail and releasing all this awesome music. And yeah, we'll see you when we see you. So everyone be sure to check out Leah. And whatever they're doing in life and in streaming and content and all that stuff. My schedule is not out yet. So you'll see that maybe later this evening or tomorrow. As per usual, we'll have Xenoblade. I'm trying to get caught up on Genshin Impact right now. Trying to get to Act 3.
Please tell me when you catch up on.
I should be soon. I should be soon because next
obsessed.
week I want to finish Act 2 at least.
Genshin is cooking. They have never released such a good quest series. I'm so serious.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. So I'll let you know when I get caught up. Oh my gosh. But I think that's it for today. So yeah, no schedule yet. So if you want to see, you can follow me on YouTube Community or on Twitter. That's where I usually post my schedule. So you'll just enjoy my little ending screen art. But yeah, if that's all for today, thank you all so much. I am the adult to give you the wings to fly, Cyber Angel, Rita Kamishiro of Lucid Multimedia. And this has been the media that shapes us with Leah. Thank you all very much.
Bye, chat.
Bye. Everyone, sorry again, no schedule yet. But I wanted to do another quick reminder that if you want to top up on your Jades, I now have an affiliate code with PlayAsia. If you want a discount for your Jades purchase, you can follow the link and use the code in my description. You have to use both. That's how it works, apparently. If you want to get a discount on your Jades. And then I also got a nice little kickback if you do that. So I scratch your back, you scratch mine. But yeah, and I'm sure everyone's excited to get Finan or Cypher or Mighty in the upcoming patch. But yeah, I thought I'd shout that out. But see you guys when I see you. I'll choose a raid, perhaps. If you see one, then I picked one. If not, then you know. Bye!